I mean, Terence Crawford has had an amazing career against a lot of very good fighters and world-class fighters, and honestly has barely lost a round. When you look back at Bud Crawford's career, there is something really special.
I say there's nothing to do, but damn, like, what else do you got to do? he's a three-time undisputed champion.
Hey man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. Like, it's just that, like, you got to really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So, skillful, yes. But this and this.
Terence Crawford is feared by fighters for a variety of crazy reasons. Roy Jones Jr. went so far as to say that Canelo appeared uneasy while facing him directly. Crawford is frightening not only because of his skill, but also because of his ability to remain composed while reading every move. He rarely receives clean hits and punishes errors at the ideal moment, giving opponents the impression that they have no chance of winning.
In that stare down that we talked about, when I told you either he's not ready for this or he trying to Bud, he wasn't trying to little boy Bud. He really was afraid, well, not afraid, but he was worried about Bud. And Bud knew that. And Bud being the older guy, Bud kind of looked him in his eye and made him turn away first. That was a victory for Bud. That was Bud's first victory. Anytime that happens, if something else don't come around or something else don't happen to undo that, you got a problem.
Pauli Malignaggi praised Terence Crawford for crafting one of the most extraordinary resumes in modern boxing. According to Pauli, Crawford's journey to becoming an undisputed champion 3 separate times is something virtually unheard of in today's fight game. What makes it even more impressive is that Crawford consistently faced elite competition. He didn't chase soft touches or avoid dangerous bouts. What truly stood out to Malignaggi wasn't just victories, but how Crawford earned them. He dominated opponents while barely taking any damage, showing world-class defense and ring IQ. His flawless record, 41 wins, 31 by knockout, and 0 defeats, backs up the legacy he's building. Pauli believed that Crawford's recent win over Canelo Alvarez wasn't just another notch on his belt. It marked a turning point. To him, it symbolized the dawn of a new era, one reminiscent of the dominance Floyd Mayweather had during his reign. In Malignaggi's eyes, Crawford has now cemented his status as a defining figure of this generation's boxing landscape.
Flawless. I mean, Terence Crawford has had an amazing career against a lot of very good fighters and world-class fighters, and honestly has barely lost a round. When you look back at Bud Crawford's career, there is something really special. It's one of those things now, because now I've now seen back-to-back generations of Floyd Mayweather and Bud Crawford, and man, you know, it's one of those things where now I understand why the people that lived in the Ray Leonard era say, you know, oh, wish we could see Ray Leonard against Mayweather and how that would be. Because it just leaves such an empty feeling when you have such special fighters that were in different generations, and you saw both of them. You know, I saw the entirety of the Mayweather generation. I saw the entirety of the Bud Crawford generation. Just incredible. Really incredible. And I know Mayweather gets a lot of hate, but for me, he's a tremendous fighter. And Terence Bud Crawford is in that realm as well. And it's a fight we'll never get to see. So what are we going to do? You know, it'll be up to the fantasy fights, you know. But let's get into it, man. You know, I want to get into the undercard as well and some of my thoughts on the Netflix show. But let's get into the main event first. Crawford really boxed very well, very intelligently. The question mark was what happens when Crawford gets hit cleanly. I'm not sure he got hit cleanly at the whole fight. You know, he got hit with some partial shots. Some shots landed cleanly, but by the time Canelo started landing anything cleanly, I think he was hesitant because he was getting countered so much that he was taking some of the steam off the shots in order to hope to be more accurate. Because even late in the fight, there were a couple of shots that Canelo landed, but they barely moved.
Brian shared his awe at witnessing Terence Crawford's performance against Canelo, emphasizing how rare it is to see such a seamless fusion of offense and defense in the modern ring. Typically, fighters tend to shine in one area while exposing weaknesses in the other. Crawford, however, displayed an exceptional equilibrium between the two. In the bout, Crawford didn't just defend effectively with sharp reflexes and disciplined movement. He transitioned effortlessly into offense, capitalizing on every minor lapse from Canelo. Brian highlighted that this versatility is what truly separates Crawford from the rest. He doesn't just survive elite competition. He controls the tempo, shuts down their strengths, and creates his own opportunities. What struck Brian most was Crawford's ability to dominate without taking unnecessary risks. Watching him neutralize a top-tier opponent while maintaining total composure and control was, in his words, nothing short of astonishing.
See, I think that for me, I watch defense as much as I watch offense. So like I thought like watching Bud catch those shots off his glove.
He looked amazing.
So amazing.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah. He'd go to a body and he'd catch that and come up with an uppercut. You know, just all those things that seem.
He looked great.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody do that to ever.
No one has. Yeah, he's the best.
Canelo. Ever.
Yeah, he's the best.
And I think he would do that to Canelo on his best day. And Canelo said it. He goes, I couldn't figure him out.
No.
Which is why he probably won't fight him again. In a way.
They'll fight again.
You think so?
The payday. Yeah. But so you're going to get Canelo because the money's in Canelo Crawford, the rematch. Yeah. I don't want to see it, but I want Crawford to get paid, so might as well do it.
ChatGPT said, Andre Ward offered glowing admiration for Terence Crawford, labeling him the most technically gifted fighter of his generation. As someone who was renowned for his own ring intelligence and precision, Ward's praise carried weight. He emphasized that Crawford's mindset is what truly sets him apart. Once Terence locks in on a goal, he becomes relentless in pursuing it. Ward explained that the only real way to derail someone like Crawford is to physically hurt him in the ring. Mere strategy and tactics won't be enough. Crawford's ability to adapt mid-fight, seamlessly switch stances, and remain mentally sharp under pressure places him in a rare class of fighters who can bend a fight to their will regardless of the situation. Ward made it clear that Crawford's rise is no fluke. It's the result of deep focus, mental toughness, and an unyielding drive to push through obstacles. His dominance, Ward suggested, is a natural outcome of a fighter obsessed with perfecting every part of his craft.
Somebody that, like, I can bet the house on is Bud.
Who's the most skilled fighter today?
Bud is definitely one of them, for sure. Me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like, soon as I see this dude, he come in the room or I come in the room, we start arguing about basketball, wrestling, anything, bro. Like, man, you can't, man, you looking small. What you mean I'm looking small? You looking small. like, it's just that, like, you gotta really hurt that dude to turn him away and to try to stop him from doing what he want to do. So skillful, yes, but this and this, it's different, man.
Terence Crawford's rise to greatness has been shaped just as much by personal motivation as by physical talent. His family played a pivotal role in molding his mindset. From an early age, his father instilled in him the belief that he was destined to become an undisputed world champion, a vision that planted the seeds of confidence and ambition. On the other hand, his mother remained doubtful, never fully convinced that he would reach the pinnacle of the sport. But rather than let that skepticism hold him back, Crawford turned it into a powerful source of motivation. Every time he entered the ring, he fought not just for victory, but to challenge her doubts and prove her wrong. With each triumph and title owned, Crawford didn't just realize the dream his father had seen for him. He also earned the pride and respect of his mother. Now, as he looks back, Crawford sees his journey as one of both personal and professional fulfillment, a path that turned belief into reality and skepticism into admiration.
My dad used to tell my mom I was going to be a world champ.
I told me we would be.
How'd that make you feel? It filled me with rage. And every time I stepped foot in the ring or anything that I ever did, I just wanted to win so bad so I can prove a point to her.
I paid the kids, I said, if y'all can whoop Bud, I give y'all $10 a piece. Couldn't whoop him.
You went out on the street.
Yeah.
What's now Bud Crawford Street.
Yeah.
And offered $10 to anyone who can kick my son's butt.
Yep.
And a lot of takers.
Yeah, the kids in the neighborhood. Couldn't nobody whoop him.
What did he tell you then?
He told you, Mom, I told you I'm the best.
When reflecting on his career choices, Crawford made it clear that he never aimed to become undisputed at 154 pounds, as he didn't feel the division offered enough truly competitive matchups. For him, achieving undisputed status isn't just about collecting titles, but about doing so against elite opposition. Rather than remaining at 154, he decided to take the daring step of chasing challenges at 168, where he sees bigger names and tougher tests that can further solidify his legacy. Crawford's unwillingness to move back down highlights his belief in pushing himself at higher weight classes, ensuring his career is remembered for ambition and bold risks instead of safety and easy victories.
Has being undisputed at 154 ever crossed your mind at this point that you at in your career?
Not at all, because I'm looking at the landscape of the 154-pound division. There's a lot of great fighters, but there's not a lot of defining fights at 154. There's not a lot of legacy fights at 154. You know, when I'm looking at the landscape of 154, I beat what's his name?
Majimov? No, 154?
No. The champion that just knocked out Tim Tszyu.
Oh, Bachram. Yeah.
Okay, so Bachram, they're going to say, who is Bachram?
Facts.
He knocked out Tim Tszyu that already had losses.
I would put you down with Fedora, though.
But Fedora already been knocked out.
Yeah, he did.
So, along my career, I've been criticized and people have taken credit away from me just to try to diminish my accomplishments just off of pure hate.
Crawford has often taken pride in displaying the belts as owned, not as mere boasting, but as a testament to the years of grind and sacrifice behind them. To him, each title is more than just a trophy. It reflects the battles fought, the setbacks endured, and the resilience required to prevail. Holding those championships is his way of showing both supporters and skeptics alike that nothing was ever given freely. Every strap came through hard fights, persistence, and unwavering self-belief. His collection of belts stands as proof of discipline and determination, while also serving as inspiration for young fighters who dream of carving out their own legacies.
I'm just reflecting on all my accomplishments at my mama house. That's where all my belts at. You know, hard work, dedication. Things that y'all favorite fighters, some of them, ain't got. So I see why y'all mad. See why y'all mad. Look at that one right there. This where it all started at. Right here. This one. In Texas. In Texas, baby. Don't hate. Just congratulate.
Virgil Ortiz Jr., a rising contender in his own right, heaped praise on Crawford after his latest performance, calling it nothing short of brilliant. Ortiz felt Crawford showcased enough in that bout to silence any remaining doubts, insisting that he has no need to chase additional opponents to prove his greatness. In Ortiz's eyes, Crawford's legacy is already sealed. The respect shown by a young, hungry fighter like Ortiz underscores just how profoundly Crawford's dominance has resonated with the next generation, leaving them inspired and amazed by all he has already achieved.